We all know Subaru. Subaru's been in the motor industry for many, many years, and they've made a variety of cars, ranging from normal daily drivers like the Impreza, Forester, but you also have the performance side of Subaru. There's the STIs, there's the WRX. Another version of the Subaru is the Legacy. Today we have the 1991 Legacy RS, and I must say, it is a modern classic. So the Legacy RS was the first performance version ever produced by Subaru with a 2-liter turbocharged flat 4 engine producing around 220 horsepower. But apart from that, back in the day, in the 1990s, late 80s, many different manufacturers from Toyota, Nissan, basically the Asian, okay, I said basically again, the Asian manufacturers used to produce normal run-of-the-mill, people's cars. There's the Toyota Corolla, there's the Nissan Sunny. So you can imagine way back in the day, Subaru coming out with such a revolutionary design with 220 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 5-speed manual. It was such a, it's still a, okay, it was a classic, but it just looks, it looks mean, and way back in the day, it must have looked really amazing. Anyway, some of the revolutionary technology that was produced with this thing, it comes with features that back then were only in executive cars. Electric windows, it came with ABS, there's the all-wheel drive system. So many features. Okay, I've not said many features right now, but ABS, electric windows, it even has a sunroof, So with Subaru being the Subaru that we all know and love, with the Legacy, they tried to do some changes that were quite new to Subaru. So let's start from here. So this guy is rally spec wheels, 15-inch, okay, fine. Yes, 15-inch wheels are not as desirable, but they're lightweight wheels. Another thing Subaru did way back in the day, normal Subarus, okay, you guys remember the Subaru Leon, a modern, it's not a classic, okay. It's a really old Subaru, but the Subaru Leon and these other ones used to come with 4 lugs. But with the Legacy, it had 220 horsepower, so they decided, let's make them 5 lugs because more power, more torque in it. Suspension-wise, it has 4-wheel independent suspension, with some models coming with air suspension. I think it was called something like electronic pneumatic suspension, and it came in the wagon variants with the, okay, those ones came in automatics, which are not as fun as what people came to love.
All right. The interior, which is probably where you want to be. Now, it's not as refined as your typical German car, but it's still a very nice place to be. You've got your bucket seats. I'm just trying to adjust my seat. Okay, fine. The interior, you've got your bucket seats that hold you in place if you're boosting. But this particular one has two, what do you call them? What do you call these? So we've got 2-way adjustable harnesses. I don't know if it's adjustable. Anyway, these things, can you imagine every time you have to drive your car, you have to do all this. This is just way too much. This is just way too much work. Yeah. So you have to harness yourself in. It's not very comfortable, but geez, it holds you in place. You've got your 5-speed manual. Manual is just the way to go. Personally, I've never been a fan of manual. I know I've upset a lot of people by saying that, but geez, manual is so much fun. Typical handbrake, so you can do your handbrake turns. Anyway, way back in the day, consider this is an 89 to a 1993 car. You have your AC, you even have your cup holders right here. I don't know, back then in the car community, it was very simple. I'm not saying this car is not simple, because the dash is actually soft touch, which is a thing. Anyway, from the materials and the feel of the car, it's not real good. Anyway, some of the cool features down here. You actually have a sporty steering wheel button. You have your front defroster, you have your parking lights, you have your, what do you call these things again? You have your hazards. Look, it's a 28-year-old car. You don't expect it to be perfect. There's the smell of oil, there's the smell of fuel, there's the smell of dust. There's a smell of many people inside this car. Anyway, practicality. This thing can probably carry 4 guys quite comfortably. show you the trunk actually. The trunk is actually really, really big.
So about practicality, I mentioned it's a 4-seater, but way back here at the trunk, you've got a lot of space. You can do a lot of activities back here. But apart from the trunk, the exhaust, I'd like to say it's a Canon. It's really big. I'm not sure what brand of exhaust this is, but the car sounds amazing. Another cool option that came with the car, there's this little knob over here. So it has a rear wiper. And to squirt water onto your rear wiper, you need a reservoir. The reservoir is located back here. There's the one at the front and there's the one at the back, which is it's quite handy. You know, it might be a lot of work to have a pump at the front that's pushing water all the way back. Anyway, the trunk, I wonder if the owner wouldn't mind me getting in because it kind of looks, truth be told, it looks comfortable. So let me get into the trunk. Don't mind my style. There's actually money in here. Don't mind my poise. Wow. So it's actually really big. If you're with your wife or girlfriend and you guys want to have a good time, when I say good time, I mean having a picnic or extracurricular activities. But anyway, as you can see, if you're to fit with someone in here, it would be quite good. And I wonder if I can close it. You can. Another one of Subaru's design language is the pillarless doors. When I talk about pillarless doors, this is what I mean. Do you see anything missing from this door? Other cars, you have like a pillar over here whereby the glass slides up and it's like a frame. This is missing the frame. It's not been cut off. It's how the cars are made. Something else that's really cool about this design, there's the belt line on the side of the car. You can see it's a little bit lower than the body of the car. I don't know, it just makes it look a little bit more masculine in a way. Anyway, what you guys want to see is what's under the engine. And I'm proud to say the 2-liter turbo, how many horsepower? I said it like a minute ago. 220 horsepower. Anyway, it's a very nice engine. It's an EJ20 engine, and it was used actually in the WRX versions of the Subaru. Anyway, top mount intercooler, TDO5 turbo. It's a very simple design, very reliable. Okay, maybe not as reliable as you'd want it to be, but you know, it works. Turbo noises are loved by everybody. I'm glad to say that this one has a BOV. So it's like a sneezing sound, like a Anyway, it also has a K&N cold air intake. And something that I've just seen right now, and I find it to be very interesting, you can actually see the timing on the engine. You can actually see the degrees. So when you're doing maybe like a timing belt change, you can see it's on 30 degrees, 20 degrees, 10 degrees. It's just so simple and it's just so nice. Anyway, with all this power comes great responsibility. You need brakes and you need traction. Brakes. This particular one has 4-port brakes at the front and the normal, I believe it's a 1-port at the back. But all-wheel drive system. Subaru all-wheel drive is one of the best. Yes, Audi Quattro is also really good, but all-wheel drive Subaru is also really good. This is paired with a 5-speed manual transmission. So for the enthusiasts, I hope today I'm going to be driving a manual so you can see my shift game, which is quite lame. But anyway, still a very, very nice car. Jeez. Anyway, so we are now with Alvin.
Yes,
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So this is your 1991 Subaru RS,
yes, sir.
and it's actually really nice. The sound.
The sounds.
The sounds, eh?
Yeah.
Don't worry. This is a private road, and we're only doing 50 as the usual. But the boost is just amazing. And the brakes are nice. 4-port brakes. Anyway, so the 1991 Subaru, I keep saying it has 220 horsepower, and you can actually feel the power. So, Alvin, is the vehicle stock?
Not exactly. Previous owner, vehicle supposed to run a TDO4 turbo. But right now, it has a TDO5.
Yeah.
Which is much faster than what the stock comes with.
Yeah.
And also fitted it with a K&N filter. Boost solenoids there, you know. and also POV, sound, of course.
There's the sneezing sound.
Yeah, the sneezing sound.
So what made you choose the RS? Because there's a competition, there's a GC8, and there are these other Subis. So why this one?
I think it's because not too many people have it around, and personally, my taste in cars is a bit old, as you have noticed.
Yeah.
Previously owned an E36 BMW, which is a 94 car, and I think my taste is pretty classic. So when I saw the RS and the performance it had and the history as well, that kind of made me choose this.
And do you have any other future mods in mind? Okay, what mods currently, apart from the cold air intake?
Yes.
What other mods does this particular one have right now? And if so, what future mods do you think you're going to be choosing?
I think the owner did a pretty good job with the engine.
Yeah.
So he redid the boost pipes and all that. So for now, I think my future mods are going to be the exhaust. Probably get a bigger downpipes and a new back box. I find this one a bit too silent.
Oh god, this is so much fun. And what of the harnesses? You know, I was saying that the harnesses are a little bit more uncomfortable if it's more of a daily driver.
I've dailied the car,
Uh-huh.
and it's actually pretty comfortable. Funny enough,
it is.
Yeah, the seats are really comfortable, really firm around especially around the corners. Really holds you into place.
You know, there's just something about turbocharged cars that's so much fun. It just goes and it just goes.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh.
But yeah. Also, the owner added 4-port variables in the front.
Yeah.
So that really saved me a lot of costs.
Yeah,
So
it did.
I really got a good package on this.
And what do you think about the reliability of the RS?
Outside of the consumption, the consumption is really good, especially for a daily car. I was really surprised by that, knowing that I have a heavy foot.
Yes, you
Yeah. So the consumption is really good. Reliability, I've not come across any issues so far. I just need to check the oil levels morning and also for water. Standard, let the car warm up first
before you start pushing on it.
Exactly. So I think Subarus are very reliable if you do stick to those
the rules of
exactly.
maintenance. And I think that applies to all
Most cars.
turbocharged cars.
Most cars.
And what do you think about its suspension? Because, when this car was introduced, it had independent suspension, which was a first for Subaru at the time. So how do you think it stacks up against its competition currently? Like modern cars?
Well, it shows its age in rougher patches of the road, but it's really firm. It's not too harsh like most guys with Subarus with the coilovers.
Yeah.
Those guys really suffer. It's a good mix between the two. So I think it corners really nicely, and on a smooth road you won't feel the
Bumps and imperfections. One thing with this being a 28-year-old car, okay, fine. With it being a 28-year-old car, a lot of the features don't work with what came with the car. So, like with the sunroof is currently held together with tape.
Yeah.
The AC, does the AC work?
Yes, AC does work.
You're joking.
I'm serious, it does.
I'm going to test that in a few. But anyway, that tells you actually the previous owners of this car really did take care of it. The boost is just... the boost is really nice. I think my love for cars mostly just from turbocharged cars. I don't know with you, because you've had both NA cars and turbocharged cars, what do you prefer?
Having had both,
Yeah.
I can attest to NA cars.
Any cars?
Yeah, they're really not as exciting with speed,
Yeah.
but you can push them a lot harder than you can turbo cars. But the turbo cars ultimately are faster.
I just love the spool. I used to have an NA car. Ever since I owned a turbocharged car,
It's really hard to go back.
it's hard to go back. I know consumption is not your best friend, but who cares? Smiles per gallon.
Exactly.
You're always driving and you're always smiling. Anyway, I'm going to try and drive for you guys, for the fans, okay, not fans, for the viewers. I'm going to go and try and drive the manual for a bit on a private road. I'm not the best with the manual, so you'll forgive me if I stall. But anyway, Mr. Alvin, it's been a pleasure for you letting us review your wonderful car, and we're really grateful. So, guys, a lot of fun. So, give us 1 second. So I'm finally in the driver's seat of a proper manual. It's a lot. 5-speed manual. So I need to tighten these some more. I don't think
Trust me, you're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, that's loose enough. That's first gear. That's very fast. Clutch in.
It's not that fast. Exactly, then you first.
You see, I kind of know what I'm doing, but not too much. But anyway, manuals are a lot of fun, so let me try go for third and hope. See, yeah, I'm learning slowly. So that's third. That's fourth. So, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed our small amateur review of the Legacy RS. I've personally had a lot of fun. I'm getting braver. Ooh, bump.
Okay.
That's the longest shift time.
Ever.
But I'm actually proud of myself. It's been a really long time since I drove a manual car, so I'm genuinely quite surprised that I remember how to do all this.
Once you get used to it, it's not really that hard. Sound.
Jeez, this is a lot of fun. Then downshift, brake, downshift. Corners are the best. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know I have. Your comments are always welcome. What we could do to change up the channel, what you guys want to see next. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. So I'm going to do a little bit of, let's do a first gear, not a pull from first gear, but starting from first gear, because first gear is actually my hardest part. When I start going,